The primary focus of your research, as I understand it, or the primary foci, I should say, are on, since we're using nice words like stochasticity, are on planet formation theory and then solar system dynamics, which is where the stochasticity comes in. Though from the papers I've looked at, you've covered a wide range of topics, and one paper in particular that really caught my eye that I wanted to start with. It was from a few years ago. It was called "On the Fate of Interstellar Objects Captured by Our Solar System." And even before I looked at it, the title screamed Oumuamua at me, because I recently spoke with Avi Loeb on the show, and this is going to take me a minute of introduction. For those who didn't hear that episode, Oumuamua was a comet that passed through our solar system a few years ago, I think 2017 or 2018. You could correct me there, that had some strange features, which led Avi, who's a very accomplished IAS and Harvard astrophysicist, to argue that it was likely a fragment of some alien spacecraft or other device. And I haven't gotten the other side of this story yet, beyond what many astrophysicists have said to me, which is it's not aliens until it's aliens, which encapsulates their view that it is not an alien spacecraft. So I wanted to start off by asking you, if Oumuamua is fresh enough in your mind, what the most salient or interesting qualities of Oumuamua were, and then how you account for them or explain them if you don't believe it was of alien construction.
Yeah, so this is, I'll admit I haven't thought about this problem in a little while, but if I was to boil it down, like what was the weirdest thing about it, right? It's twofold, really. When it came into the solar system, well, I guess it's threefold. First of all, it had a weird shape, right? Like that's...
Yeah, you referred to it as
point one.
Robustly hyperbolic. I loved that.
It's robust and it's hyperbolic. It's both of those things, right? It checks both boxes, right? So it has a weird shape, although that the hyperbolic part refers to the orbit. And it didn't develop a comet, right? It's so like a lot of comets, when they come in, they puff up. The reason they're called comets is because they develop this beautiful tail, otherwise known as the coma. And third, it experienced a non-gravitational acceleration as it was kind of post-perihelion, post-closest approach to the sun, departing the solar system. And the combination of not having developed a coma, not having a jet, so to speak, and experiencing non-gravitational acceleration, which is usually attributed to jets in comets, that's a perplexing and interesting thing, right? So what is the solution here? Well, as you have already mentioned, you've heard that one solution is it's an alien spacecraft. Okay, and there are also many other solutions that involve non-alien things, like, example, there's a paper by Seligman, and I apologize, I forget the first author. This is a paper in Nature from a little while ago, which basically made the point that if it's just a water ice regular comet floating through interstellar space, through the processes that occur in the interstellar medium, the ice can become amorphous. So it traps hydrogen bubbles inside of the ice. And once the comet comes close and the hydrogen bubbles start to escape from the interior of the comet, they create jets that you cannot see, that do not form a coma. Like, that's a solution as well. There's a solution proposed by Steve Desch, who says this is not, in fact, water ice, it's like nitrogen ice. And according to that work, that satisfies the constraint. There's some ideas about it being CO ice. So what I think is interesting about all of this is that astrophysics is particularly prone as a discipline to explanations that involve aliens, right? Like imagine you're a solid state physicist, right? And you're in your lab and as happens in regular solid state physics labs all the time, there's something you don't understand about a given material, right? You could always invoke the notion that this material comes from an alien spacecraft, right? Like that is one of the many possibilities that you could enumerate. But I think astronomy as a field is particularly susceptible to paying more attention to the alien hypothesis than other fields.
Yeah, that's funny, especially because
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, especially considering the immensity of space and all of the particulars we don't know about, there are so many things that you might hypothesize to account for this comet not developing a tail or its robust hyperbolic what was the word? Hyperbolicity? I don't even remember. But without having to hypothesize aliens.
That said, Tom DeLonge from Blink 182 is a robust alien researcher, and I think if we were to ask him, he would robustly point to the alien explanation as the dominant explanation. So like we should go with that.
Yes, I would. I am a huge Blink 182 fan. I know you're a musician. We'll get to it. Before we talked, I was just drumming for an hour or so, and I mean, Travis Barker is great, but screw Travis Barker. I mean, I want to talk to Tom DeLonge about his very robust research and
he's got
research
opinions.
program.
Yeah,
he does.
What's crazy is
who knows? Maybe
I recently watched a video of their show from like 1999. Okay, and like plastered all over like the amps is this like flag that says UFOs are real. Right. So that like predates the Oumuamua discussion. So, the original credit goes to DeLonge et al. 1999 for really kind of drawing attention to the possibility of the alien hypothesis.
They have a great song called "Aliens Exist." I don't know if you probably already knew that, since you're also a fan.
Yeah, something about the 15-year-old me is really resonating right now.